Hello, folks. Today we will be talking about the most beautiful metal albums of all time. Well, probably not of all time, but the ones I know, the ones I found, and the ones that I favorite. I got a few ones on mine that I want to tell you about. So sit, grab to eat something, and let's go. Um, so, mm, but before the video starts, I'll also like to mention that I just finished my vest. As you can see, there is a few bands on the front and on the back. Um, but the first album and band that I would mention is Drug, which um, probably a black metal band that is familiar to you, which is a Ukrainian black metal band. Um, I would like to mention one of their newer albums, A Few Lines in Archaic Ukrainian. It is just such a masterpiece. What can I say about it? About 8 minute long songs, from 8 probably 10 minute long songs. Um, the melody is amazing. The vocals are just like pure cinema, man. The drum sound is insanely good. So there is the album, and after it, there went a single that had two songs from this album that were remade. It's his 24th Spring and Autumn in Sepia. These two songs were remade into better quality. So they have uh, I think they have a better drum sound, right? That's my opinion, that they have a better drum sound. So I recommend you first check out that album and then move to these two singles that, if you ever listen to Drug, you probably heard the song his 24th Spring, right? But I really recommend you to check out this album. The next album on the list is Amidst the Ruins by Saur. I have a Saur patch on my jacket, by the way. Here it is. So this is what I would like to call something like atmospheric folk black metal. So it is pretty clean production, and this album actually got released just in 2025, so it released just only recently. And upon listening to the almost entire discography by Saur, I found that this newest album was actually the best album by them. So I really advise you to check it out. If you like something like folky, fantasy, like nature themed, it is really like, the songs are long. I would even say that the intros aren't even that long, but yeah, the music itself is so freaking beautiful. You got screaming and clean vocals. You got some clean vocals, but the ones that are done really unique and right. You also got these breaks. You got like a lots of folk elements. I really recommend you to check out this album. So the next one is Mовчання і Смерть by Surm, which is another Ukrainian black metal band, which has a far more raw production than that Drug album. Has a far more raw production, and by raw I really mean it's really raw, but it is powerful and beautiful. The riffs are insanely fat, bro. The riffs are so fat, but at the same time they're so melodic and beautiful. So what would I tell about this album? The drums are a lot quieter than the riff. The riff is insanely fat. But so if you like something rawer in black metal, I really advise you to check out Surm, because this is something you might like. Especially this EP. This is not an album, by the way. This is an EP, Mовчання і Смерть. So the next album I would recommend you is probably my favorite album of all time. Like, when I tell you to check it out, I really mean you. Like this is probably the album and even the band that I advise you to check out the most. Uh, like please listen to them. Like, man, I tell you, they're like insane. If you haven't heard of them, the band is Neo Obliviscaris, or I don't know how to probably pronounce it, but the album is Portal of One. So this is a very unique mix. It's a mix of progressive and technical elements with black and death metal and violin, mind you, violin. And not only violin, you got also stuff like clean singing and shit like that. So the album is insanely long, over an hour, which is you see most of the albums right now being maximum like 30-40 minutes. An hour is a lot. But this album isn't really the newest album, you know. So what I would say that there's a few songs I would really recommend you to check out. The songs I really recommend you to check out is the first two songs of this album. Don't skip by them. The first song starts with the powerful, mysterious sounding black metal riff and then goes into more of a death metal stuff. Really something around progressive death metal mixed with some elements of black metal. What I would say also, yeah, you will spot violin, definitely. You will see some violin on this album. The band in general, you know. That's their unique sound. So the album has an insanely powerful growl vocals, the ones that are like really mastered and beautiful, I would say. What also I would add, probably nothing, but expect to see a few long intros there and there. Also, the song as Isaisol fuck. Okay, I cannot pronounce it, but you probably understood. As Isaisol Fall or something. So this song has a very beautiful intro, containing mostly clean singing that goes up to like 3 minutes or something, and then you got your brutal song, you know. It is so freaking beautiful. And the next thing, the song Forget Not, which is probably the most popular, one of the most popular songs of this album, has a really, really long intro. Like, bro, it takes up like 35% of the song. This is insane, mate. It's like 3 or 4, even 5 minutes long, man. So yeah, probably told everything you need to know about this album. So the next album is Arpitanian Lands by Anisum. Anisum is an Italian black metal band that has a very raw and atmospheric sound. They were one of the first black metal bands I got into, probably. I discovered them randomly, and they were just so freaking amazing, man. Again, you got an insanely fat riffs. The vocals are really, really like this high and thin shrieks that definitely this is something a black metal fan would like, especially the one who likes more atmospheric and melodic stuff. Just disclaimer for this album that it has also really long intros and some of the songs you might not like. So also you could check out their other album called Forgotten Mountains, I think, which is also really beautiful. I would say that you should really check out the entire band's discography. They're one of my favorite black metal bands. So yeah, this is something you should check out. The next one is Pale Folklore by Agalo. So upon listening to some Agalo, not to some, but like about 80% of their discography, right? I understood that the Pale Folklore is my favorite album by them. I, by the way, have a patch of them here. So what will you find in this album is a mix of shitloads of subgenres, like a shitloads of subgenres. Like you will have long intros and breaks that will be insanely atmospheric and dark. I tell you, man. But then you got also the vocals are really beautiful. I cannot deny this that the vocals are insane, man. And what I would also say, yeah, it's a very unique style they play, I'd say. So it's basically a mix of something post and something more black metal. No, I do not mean post black metal. This is not post black metal. I mean something like, it's really hard to explain, but they mix a lot of like post elements into more rawer black metal, I would say, like that. So the last one I would recommend you to check out is Всесвіт by Severov. This is the third Ukrainian black metal band I mentioned here, but now this time they play a different style of black metal here. They have these overly dramatic vocals that kinda will remind you of some DSBM bands, but I'm myself not a particularly DSBM enjoyer, but this band stood out because they do not play DSBM, they play something more melancholic, or melancholic, how do I pronounce that, but their music is really interesting because the songs are insanely long. They also got some longest intros. And also, what I would say, yeah, it has also some very interesting folk elements, I believe. And I can't really say anything else about it. You should really check out. You should really check it out. If you're more into like this dramatic, ambient, melodic, atmospheric stuff in black metal. If you're into that, you should really check out this album, Всесвіт. I really would recommend you probably the whole discography by Severov. Also their album When the Night Falls. So I would really recommend you to check out a lot of stuff by Severov because they're absolutely amazing, man. But yeah, that's probably all for the video today, so if you watched to the end, I really appreciate it. So really thank you, and yeah, bye.